Hi everybody, welcome back. It's Johnny McAwesome again. We're going to break down the Jawa Engineer, my favorite little healer. Well, not really, but I've actually come to really enjoy him with some of the changes I've made to him. First off, let's go over his mods. You'll notice he is now gear 10. He's not a little lowly gear 9 scum anymore. He's gear 10 scum. Alright, so I've got a health arrow on him. It gives him 30 speed, 3.58% protection, 2.12% tenacity, more protection, and a little bit of potency. For him, and for what I'm using him for, this is a fantastic mod. Yeah, there's that word again. Anyways, it's a great mod for several reasons. The protection is going to give him more survivability, same with the tenacity and the flat protection. The potency, this is the real key to me. The potency is actually going to help him so much with landing more thermal detonators. And I've noticed that his thermal detonators, when they come off on the main tank, when like they're leaving a topple, because he's got 4 or 5 or 6 of them on there, they each hit for around 10,000 a pop. So it's actually incredibly, like, it's a huge burst of damage. And even though it doesn't show up for him directly at the end of the damage log, I don't really care who it shows up for. It's still damage done to the tank that now somebody else doesn't have to do, and the tank's still dropping. Alright, so the square, we got 4% offense. The only thing that really does, I think, is just help out the amount he's the amount he's dealing with his thermal detonators. 3% crit chance. As nice as that 3% crit chance is, it doesn't do anything for him at all. So that stat right now on this one is kind of useless for Jawa Engineer, but he does have plus 1.2% protection, again, more survivability for the squishy healer, plus 4 speed and 1% defense. We all know defense is kind of crappy, but it is what it is. So here's a diamond. It's a tenacity, or sorry, a potency diamond. It's got his defense. It's got 2% health, 3.6% protection, and 5 speed, and flat 500 health. So again, it's all about survivability, and for me, adding a little bit of potency and some major speed. I'll go to the triangle. It's an offense triangle. Again, I just want his thermal detonators, when they go off, I just want them to have a little more punch to them. So with flat 20 offense, some 200 health, 0.5% health, and another 1.35% tenacity. 3-dot mod, 18% potency. I obviously want to have a better mod on here with 24% potency, but it's just this potency here is just a nice to have. The 7 speed is what I'm really looking after here. I really wanted to make sure I got his speed to a certain point, and I've actually achieved that. I'm very close to achieving another personal milestone I've set for him for speed. So then he's got another 2.3% protection and 0.37% offense. Again, the critical chance doesn't really mean anything at all for him, so it's just a useless stat for him at this point. Here we got another 23.5% protection. Again, I'm just trying to beef his survivability up. This one is a placeholder mod, because as you can see, it has 5.88% crit chance, which, since crit chance is useless on Jawa Engineer, this is really misplaced, but I got some protection. I've got another 1.2% tenacity and another 0.4% offense on it. So 3 out of the 4 stats are good. The crit chance is an amazing stat, and at 5.88%, I really couldn't ask for it to be higher. But for him, it doesn't do anything. So once I can find him another mod that's comparable for survivability, I will switch it out. Hopefully that other mod will have another couple of speed on it. Even if it's just a 2 or 3 speed, I'm okay with it. That's really all I need to hit my next goal. Alright, so let's go into his stats. So his survivability, he's over 32,000, almost 33,000 between health and protection. He's doing really well there. Speed. This is my goal. My goal was to hit 190 plus. I'm at 193, and I'll show you next how I'm working towards 199, but I'd like to ideally get it over 200. I mean, he already goes super fast as it is, but I want him to go more. I'm greedy that way. Potency, 62.79%. I've beefed it up by almost 30%. The whole reason, again, is I want those thermal detonators sticking. A lot of people blow them off like they're not necessary, and yeah, I'm not really sacrificing any speed based on everything I've seen from the like pros. They're saying, oh, just go for speed, just go for survivability. Well, no, he's got his other abilities that help out. Nevitt's gonna proc some protection on him here and there. I mean, there's other ways to help Jawa Engineer stay alive longer. So I figured putting my extra little bit into potency, we're laughing. I mean, we're going to get so many more thermal detonators thrown on that main tank, and as a result, we're going to end up doing so much more damage than we really thought Jawa Engineer would contribute. He's just a healer. That's all he's there for, is that critical chance buff and healing. That's really all we want him for. So his speed's sitting at 193 right now. I do have a piece of gear that has 6 on it that I'm farming. I think I need another 10 pieces, and then I'll have that at 199. And you'll see in a few minutes here, we'll go over his abilities. It's actually higher than 199, so he's going constantly. His physical damage, it doesn't really matter too much. I want to get this number closer to 2,500 though, instead of 23, 26. But like I said, his thermal detonators go off. They do hit for a pretty good punch. So the more I can land, the more damage he can do. Armor, again, I'm not worried about it too much. I have beefed it up 2%, but it's not really a huge buff to him. His special damage here, let's see. Where does tenacity go? There it is. So his tenacity's up almost 5%. That is going to help him hopefully ward off some of those dots from the main tank going, which again, if he can stop even 1 or 2 instead of 4 hitting him, or 3 or whatever it is that usually hits, if he can block a couple of those from hitting, he's going to last longer anyways. So it's not the end of the world. You don't have to focus on that too much, but having a little bit extra is obviously good. So those are his stats. As you can see, he's 8330 overall. He's my second worst on my droid squad for overall power. So here's his little thermal detonator. Plus 20%. Like, you can look at the stats. He's got an Omega, and we got 10, 20, 30, 50, 60, 70, 90% extra damage from what it would be if it was level 1. So it's a pretty, it does already pack a little powerful punch, and he's always got one sitting in his little hand there. He's ready to go. Patch up, this is again, it's Omega. I have Omega everything on him. I feel it's actually important to have all of his abilities Omega. Like his heal, it helps out. I mean, it's still only bringing back a droid ally at 1% health, and then all allies get 30% of their max health. So if the droids have more health, obviously not protection, but more health, then they're gonna get more effect from that heal. But the reason why I've given them a little more protection is hoping that we can delay hitting their health pool at all for a while. And 30% of their max health as is pretty decent. And that only has a cooldown of 4. With how fast he's going, that comes back so fast. Let's go to recalibrate here. All allies gain critical chance up for 2 turns, and Jawa and droid allies, which is all the allies he's going to use, also gain 45% turn meter. This has a cooldown of 5, but again, with his increased speed that he has, you're not really going to notice it being down too often, or where it has such a detrimental effect where you're thinking, oh man, I really need this recalibrate buff, I need it to come back right now. And when it is up, you don't necessarily have to use it all the time. If you notice your droids have just gone and they're all sitting at around 50% turn meter, definitely pop it on there, because then they're going to have another round of turns before the tank or the turrets get to shoot them again. So it's helpful, but just time it properly. You know, just work on your timing on that. Crunch time. So Jawa Engineer has plus 10 speed for each Jawa or droid ally. So if that includes him, that's 50. If it doesn't, that's 40. Either way, he's looking at between 240 and 250 speed when all's said and done. He's fast. He's very, very fast. And that's why I want to get him just above 200, so that this is really 240 plus 250. Like, I want that ballpark range where he's going, you know, HK-47, his speed's at, I think, 110. So Jawa is going to go 2, maybe 3 times for every time HK goes. And HK's speed is a major issue at the moment for me, but I have a way to increase it a bit. So what I'm working on with Jawa Engineer right now is this is the last piece I'm really going to farm for him right now until I get Chief Nebbit up to gear 10, because he's still sitting at gear 9. He needs a little bit more love. But I want to get this Mark II Zoltan Bacti-Gel. I want that 6 speed. 40 physical damage in the 15 armor pen, great. Another 1% tenacity, that'll help. But yeah, it's really just this Bacti-Gel that I want to get for him. This piece, the Mark V Athaka Med Pack, I can actually farm it here. So, I mean, I'll probably work on farming that for him when I get to it, but there's another stun cuff still blocking me before I can get Jawa Engineer to gear 11. Which, I mean, getting the guys that I've gotten up so far, it's not so bad, but I've already farmed 3 out of the 4 stun cuffs I set out to do to get HK47 to gear 10. He's right here, he's at gear 10, and Chief Nebbit still needs one before he gets to gear 10. So I need Chief Nebbit at gear 10 more than I need Jawa Engineer at gear 11. And that stuff will come. So right now, like I said, I mean, I'm farming this piece, getting it real quick. As soon as I get these last 10 Mark II Zoltan Bacti-Gels, that's when I'm going to switch over to Chief Nebbit, and that's who I'll be coming back with in a few minutes with another video on, and that'll wrap up the Droid Jawa squad and where they are today for me. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.